Hey, what's up guys? This is the Hiboy TITAN electric scooter. So Hiboy reached out to me and sent me the scooter for free to do an honest review. They did not pay me for this review. So in this video I'm going to do an unboxing and I'm going to take it out for a quick spin and give you guys my first impressions. In another video I will do a full range test, so battery 100% all the way down to empty battery or 0%, whatever you want to call it. And then after that I will do a review because I will have pretty much ridden it and have a better feel for it. So specs wise, this thing is actually pretty amazing. So it retails for 900 bucks in the US. I will put product links in the description below, so be sure to check that out. But specs wise, really quick, I'll put it on the screen as well. But this thing can go up to 28 miles, and I really like the fact that they say it depends on road and driver weight. Now, since I am on the heavier side of their maximum load, which is 220 pounds, and I'm over 200 pounds, you know, I don't expect to get 28 miles. And where I'm going to test it is going to be with some hills, so I expect to get less than that. But I will do a full range test, obviously. And it has an 800 watt hour motor, or 800 watt motor, and 10-inch tires and stuff. It has dual brakes, and it has shocks and everything. So specs wise, it's actually really good, and it has a fairly nice screen for something you're paying not much more than a Ninebot MAX, and actually cheaper than the Inmotion L9 that I have. So anyways, let's actually open this up. And I have another camera here, so I'll give you guys this shot as well. And I think this thing is around 50 pounds. So with these knives, I'm a little careful. You don't want to go straight in. So it's a box within a box, which is always a good thing, so double protection. So I'm actually just going to rip up the side of this.
12 seconds later.
All right, let's see what's inside. That factory smell, not exactly like a new car smell, but something similar. Alright, I'm going to turn on this camera so you guys see what I'm looking at. So definitely very nicely packaged. So let's take it out. Okay, so the AC to DC, this does work with the 100 to 240 volts, so should be good. Power, obviously power cord with that. User manual, Titan. So yeah, some just riding styles and stuff. Do not do this, do not do that, kind of things like that. Oh, that's nice. They give you a whole Allen wrench set. That's actually pretty cool. And you got the 2 screws there. So let me actually bring this closer so you guys could see. So yeah, so Allen wrench and everything. So actually a whole bunch of stuff. Wow. Even have some sockets. That's crazy. So might actually come with all the tools you need to assemble it, which is pretty nice. And you get 2 little screws here. So what else is there? I don't know what this is for yet. I will find out shortly. Very well packaged, very sturdy. That folds right up. Nothing in here. Okay, so let's do another shot of this so you guys could see. There we go. see if I could lift this out of the box. Okay, so obviously some weight to it, but not quite as heavy as it looks. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. Nothing else in there. So I'll put the box to the side. All right. First impressions look good. Oh, is that for the full? Oh wow, these are some thick tires. Disc brakes in the front, disc brakes in the back, so dual brakes. You probably need it if you're going 25 miles an hour. I don't know what this thing is. This thing is like taped. Let's actually put the kickstand. Okay, so initial thoughts, this thing is actually very high off the ground, so yeah, I don't know what, oh, this is for this. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Okay, so easily the front brake. The scooter pretty much comes pre-assembled. You just have to put the handlebar on, you know, one screw from here, one screw from here, you're good to go. So this is how you turn it on. You hold this power button for 2 seconds. Turns on, you get a pretty nice screen. The cool thing is that every one of these things is adjustable. You could tighten it, meaning I can move this like this or like this and then tighten it the way that I want, which is nice. Same with this, same with this. So I can move this. I mean, these are a little tight right now, but I mean, I can move this. So you have your horn, hold it, makes a noise. You got your lights on and off. Power button. So this adjusts your speed. So we're on turbo right now, which is the fastest mode. Now we can go down eco to 0 to eco, standard, and turbo. So battery meter, obviously. You have your speed, you have your distance, you have your average speed, and this is your throttle, which would go because it's on non-kick mode. There it is. That's pretty cool. So if you're wondering, hey, can I change that? Yes, you can. So if you actually look in the manual on page 5, for number 5, it tells you what you can change and what you should not change. So if we hold this M button for 3 seconds, so it takes us here. So P1 is the diameter of the wheel. So we want it at 10 inches, do not change. And obviously when you don't touch it for a while, for 6 seconds, I believe, it goes back off. So that's fine. The second one is, do you want miles per hour or kilometers? So I'm gonna leave it in miles, but most people probably want it in kilometers, but I'm used to miles, so I'm gonna leave that. And then speed limit, it says 0, do not change, so I'm not gonna change that. Voltage, 48 volts, I'm not gonna change that because I don't wanna mess with the battery and stuff. It also says that. It says non-kickstart mode or kickstart mode. So 0 is kickstart, is non-kickstart mode. That's why when I hit the throttle it went. So if I wanted to change that, I would just change that to a 1, which means kickstart mode. And then 6 means no function, do not change, and then it says stay for 6 seconds and preset will be done. So that's what the little M button does. Another thing to note is that the handlebar is actually longer, or seems longer than it is on the Ninebot MAX, which should give you better balance, and that should be the case because you're actually going faster, so you want more balance. And you know, you have your brakes, so back, front. Giving you guys a closer look, turning on the front lights, also turns on the side lights, which are changing. So you're going to be easier to spot at night. And when you apply the brakes, the backlights go on. So same thing on this side. And that's, you know, if you need to pump the tires, it's there. And on this side, it is right there in the back. So motor is going to be in the back. And it's very high off the ground initially, at least compared to the Ninebot MAX and the Inmotion L9. You got your disc brakes, so work fine. So, and then you have your disc brakes on the other side for the back. So double brakes, wires, fairly wide deck we have here, and you have shocks. So we'll do a quick jumping test. So fairly soft. So you loosen this, and this is how it folds. And you could leave this, you could tighten it. But from what I'm seeing, there's no latch. So how do you pick this up? Because with the Ninebot MAX and Inmotion, there's a little latch, and you just grab it from here and you can pick it up. So with this one, you probably have to pick up the whole thing. So, and it's not super heavy, it's lighter than it looks, but it's definitely, so it looks bigger and heavier, but it weighs less than that. It feels like it weighs less than it actually looks.
Few moments later.
You're looking at probably like 6 inches or so, if not higher, off the ground for this one. So if we move this guy out of the way. The Inmotion L9 and the Ninebot MAX are much lower. I mean, I don't even have to, you know, if I do this, it's less than 4 inches. And the Ninebot MAX is less than 3 inches off the ground. So that one is way higher off the ground, which should also help with dirt roads and stuff. If you plan on doing a little bit off-roading, it should probably help. Well, not should. It'll definitely help with that, to clear obstacles and stuff. The deck is 19 inches from here and 8 inches wide. But if you count it from here where this metal is, it's a little less than 16 inches. The Inmotion L9, if you count it from here, let me move this out of the way. The Inmotion L9, if you count it from here, it's much longer. Comes out to 25 inches or so. But this part's not really usable. And this part is kind of usable, not really that much, and then there's cords coming out from this side. So really, if you measure from here, it's 19 inches wide, long. And from the grippy part, it's basically 6 inches. A little bit longer if you count the metal. The Ninebot MAX, you know, if you count from here all the way to where the rear fender starts, it's around 24 inches, but really you could count from here and it's around 20 inches. And the grippy part is a little over 6 inches. So the Ninebot MAX is a little bit wider for the grippy part than it is for this. That one's much wider but shorter. So yeah, I'll find out on the range test when I'm on it for a while how comfortable it actually is, that and you know, shocks and everything. As far as tires are concerned, they're all 10-inch pneumatic tires, but you could clearly see this one is much bigger than the other two. So the Ninebot MAX looks the skinniest at 2 1/4 of an inch. This one is around 2 3/4 of an inch. This one's over 3 inches wide. So you could see that The wheels definitely look bigger on the Hiboy Titan than they do on the other two.
Later.
Alright, so assist does nothing. You pretty much has no assistance, so you're basically pushing it. This is the walk mode. On Eco, this is full acceleration. Gets up to 9.3 or 9.7 miles an hour from what I've seen. Midway, you can actually press plus and change the mode to standard, which gets up to 18.7 or so. Alright, I've seen it go faster than that. 18.7 was the most that I saw. Let's try it again. There we go. There we go. 18.7. So when you're applying the brakes, it's kind of, you need to put your body back and kind of go on your heel and push the back of the stand back, and I'll back of the deck, I should say, and I'll explain that. Now we'll try turbo mode. So this is full acceleration on turbo mode. To lean your body back when you're applying the brakes, otherwise you're gonna fall off the scooter. Let's try it again. There we go. Lean back and apply the brakes. So we got the speeds taken care of. Alright, this thing is quick. Alright, so this is full throttle. I'm going full throttle on turbo mode, and it's slowing down to 13. Doing much better than the other scooters I have, but it is slowing down at full throttle. But that's okay. Let's see if it'll make it. That's what matters. Done. All right, made it to the parking fee area. Okay, so almost at the top. All right, guys, first impressions. I thought I'd do it at the top of the hill. So I actually came from all the way down there, so you could see how high I am. I almost made it all the way to the top, which is maybe 100 meters or so, and that's kind of where a trail starts. But it pretty much stopped right around here. But this is a very long uphill, and I was actually very impressed at how fast it was going up. So on the turbo speed, I was averaging maybe 12 to 14 miles an hour going up this hill on full throttle, again on turbo mode. So very impressed, because with the Inmotion L9 it overheated. It got nowhere near as far as this, and it overheated, and I was actually going a lot slower with that than I was with this. So for the price, hands down, this thing's amazing. So a few things that I learned while riding this: don't hit the front brake really hard. Try to kind of even avoid the front brake unless you absolutely need it, because the first time I hit it, I almost fell off the scooter, which, again, be careful. So I started using the back brakes more often, but I wanted to test out both. You have to put your heel here like this and put your weight on your heel when you're braking, because especially with the front brakes, when you hit it, it feels like you're gonna fall off. With the back brakes less, but it still also feels like you're gonna fall off, because the brakes are actually really good. They stop very quickly, but almost too quickly, I want to say. So you definitely have to put your heel here, and then when you're doing that, you're okay. And other than that, everything was responsive, everything works fine. Very impressed with the average speed that I came up to this hill. So I did the hill test, I did the speed test. I kind of, it's not really a range test, but I went 9 miles. So one thing I noticed is the battery went down to 1 bar while I was going up this hill, and I think it was like, hey, are you sure like you want to keep going? Because I think it was calculating if you keep going at this rate, your battery's not going to last that long. So then when I stopped, it came pretty much back to 3 bars now. So overall impressions, first impressions are really good. I'm actually curious to see how far this thing's actually going to go. And ride comfort wise is actually pretty good. It took me a few minutes to figure out which position is the most comfortable, and I feel like the position that kind of works for me, and I'll test it more with the actual range test, but like this position with this foot and this position with this foot, so right around there. But yeah, excellent. I think very, very good for my first impressions.